Without six figures, never blow a check. I know you're back, show respect, cause I grab my Rolodex and see what's next.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Greg Gumbel at the anchor desk with my partner Clark Kellogg, bringing you the 2K Sports NCAA Selection Show. We're all set to show you the seedings and pairings, so get out your bracket sheet, get those pencils ready. Here are the basics. Of the 65 available tournament bids, 31 are automatically given to conference champions. The tournament committee hands out the remaining 34 bids on an at-large basis. An opening round game will take place on Tuesday night to narrow the field to 64 teams. But before we unveil the brackets for this season, here's a look at the final top 25 media poll of the season. There's at least one change in the rankings to tell you about. We have a new team in the top 25 this week, the Red Storm of St. John's. Break into the poll as the number 25 team. The poll voters have had their say in the national ranking since November, but the time has come to hand over the reins to the selection committee. It's time to talk about the topic that has a lot of players and coaches holding their breath right now, the NCAA tournament bubble. These are the 10 teams that aren't worried as much about where they'll be playing as if they'll be playing. Clark, who jumps out at you there?
Kansas State could have sealed their invitation with a better regular season finish, but the fact is they play in a very tough conference, and that does weigh heavily in their favor.
You got that right, and who else might be in the same position?
Penn State can make a case as to why they deserve a tournament bid. Problem is, everyone else can make a case as to why they don't belong in the tournament.
I'm sure it's been a long week for those teams, but the wait's almost over. The NCAA Selection Committee has finished its meeting, and we're ready to unveil the top 4 seeds in this year's tournament. The Alabama Crimson Tide are the top overall seed, and they will play in the East Regional. On to the second number 1 seed, who will play in the South Regional. The Seton Hall Pirates are seeking their first ever NCAA championship. The Oregon Ducks are our third number 1 seed, and they'll play in the Midwest Regional. They're back in the tournament again, and no doubt they'll be feeding off the experience of last year's appearance as they try to get to the Final Four this year. And finally, our fourth number 1 seed will play in the West Regional. The Marquette Golden Eagles are in the tournament field as a number 1 seed for the first time in the history of their program. Now, here's how the brackets shape up based on where the number 1 seeds have been assigned. In one national semifinal game, the winner of the East Regional will play the winner of the South Regional. In the other semifinal game, the winner of the Midwest Regional will play the winner of the West Regional. Those games will be played on Saturday, April 4th. Then it'll be on to the national championship game on Monday night, April 6th. Anything shocking to you about those picks?
Well, when you see the selection committee deviate from the top 4 teams in the media poll, it's a little surprising. They've opened themselves up to some criticism with these picks.
So, with the number 1 seeds out of the way, it's finally time to tackle the rest of the brackets. First up, we take a look at the East Regional. The Alabama Crimson Tide are the top seed, finishing at 30-4. They won both the regular season and conference tournament titles in the SEC. They will take on the winner of the opening round play-in game between High Point with 12 wins and now the number 8 seed, the Miami Hurricane, come into the tournament 6th in their conference during the regular season and were losers in their first game at their conference tournament. They're going to play the number 9 seed, the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, who finished 2nd in their conference tournament, finishing at 20-11. Michigan State comes in as the number 5 seed, finishing at 22-8. And they will take on the 12th seed from the WAC, the Fresno State Bulldogs, with 17 wins. Temple enters the field as the number 4 seed from the A-10 Conference. This will be their 26th appearance all-time in the NCAA tournament. They'll be getting ready to face the number 13 seed, the Western Michigan Broncos. Finished the season with 20 wins.
The Temple Owls are going to provide serious matchup problems to any team that doesn't have depth and defensive ability at both guard spots. They have outstanding backcourt play at both ends of the court. It's the main reason they've made it this far, and they're going to have to maintain that form if they want to do some damage in this tournament.
The Washington State Cougars are in as the number 6 seed. They'll be taking on the number 11 seed, the Kansas State Wildcats, with 20 wins. Cal comes in as the number 3 seed, finishing at 24-8. Florida International comes in to face them at number 14 with 17 wins in the tournament championship of the Sun Belt Conference. Our number 7 seed is from the ACC. The away team were rewarded for their outstanding play this season with an at-large bid and a ticket to the big dance. They are going to play the number 10 seed, the Florida State Seminoles, who were 7th in their conference, finishing at 19 and 11. Next up is the number 2 seed. The Oklahoma State Cowboys are the regular season champions from the Big 12. They'll be going up against the number 15 seed, the Loyola College Greyhounds, with 18 wins. This will be their second appearance in the NCAA tournament in team history. What a tremendous regional final we'd have in this bracket if the number 1 and 2 seeds here make it through the first 3 rounds unscathed. That could be one of the games of the tournament. Next up, we'll take a look at the South Regional. The Seton Hall Pirates are the top seed, finishing at 27 and 4. They were winners of the regular season championship in the Big East. They'll take on the McNeese State Cowboys, the number 16 ranked team. This is their 3rd appearance in the NCAA tournament in the history of their school. St. Louis comes in as the number 8 seed, finishing at 22 and 8. Ohio State comes in to face them at number 9 with 21 wins and a chance to make believers out of any doubters they might have. Virginia Tech enters the field as the number 5 seed from the ACC. This marks their 10th appearance in the NCAA tournament in school history. They'll be getting ready to face the number 12 seed, the Youngstown Penguins. Finished the season with 18 wins.
The Virginia Tech Hokies suffered a big upset in their conference tournament, but they've got to leave that behind them. Sometimes getting a loss like that out of the way before the NCAA tournament can actually help you. It can relieve some pressure and help the players get their focus back.
USC comes in as the number 4 seed, finishing at 22 and 10. And they'll take on the 13th seed from the Big Sky, the away team, with 21 wins. And now the number 6 seed, the Red Storm of St. John's, come into the tournament as the 4th place team in their conference during the regular season and finish 2nd in their conference tournament. They are going to play the number 11 seed, the Stetson Hatters, who came in 1st in their conference tournament, finishing at 21 and 10. The Arizona Wildcats are in as the number 3 seed. They'll be taking on the number 14 seed, the Portland Pilots, with 17 wins. Next up is the number 7 seed. The Duke Blue Devils are the conference tournament champions from the ACC. They'll be going up against the number 10 seed, the Brigham Young Cougars, with 24 wins. They return once more to the very familiar surroundings of the NCAA tournament. Our number 2 seed is from the SEC. The Florida Gators were rewarded for their outstanding play this season with an at-large bid and a ticket to the big dance. They're going to play the number 15 seed, the Tigers of the Pacific, who came in 1st in their conference tournament, finishing at 18 and 12. This bracket has the potential to give us a sensational matchup in the regional final if everything goes according to form and the top 2 seeds can survive the early rounds. On to our 3rd bracket of the day. Let's take a look at the Midwest Regional. The Oregon Ducks are the top seed, finishing at 26 and 7. They were winners of the regular season championship in the Pac-10. They'll take on the Jackson State Tigers, the number 16 ranked team. This marks their 4th appearance in the NCAA tournament in school history. Our number 8 seed is from the Colonial Athletic Association. The George Mason Patriots had a tremendous year that included a regular season championship. They're going to play the number 9 seed, the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, who were 6th in their conference, finishing at 19 and 12. The UCLA Bruins are in as the number 5 seed. They'll be taking on the number 12 seed, the Columbia Lions, with 19 wins. Xavier enters the field as the number 4 seed from the A-10 Conference. This is their 21st appearance in the NCAA tournament in school history. They'll be getting ready to face the number 13 seed, the Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles. Finished the season with 20 wins.
The Xavier Musketeers will be an extremely dangerous team in this tournament, mainly because they have such terrific veteran leadership. Coaches love when they have guys on the floor that have been around the block a few times because they don't get rattled. They play with composure. I look at the experience of this team as something that could put them over the top.
Gonzaga comes in as the number 6 seed, finishing at 25 and 5. And they take on the 11th seed from Conference USA, the Houston Cougars, with 19 wins. And now the number 3 seed, the Vanderbilt Commodores, come into the tournament after finishing 2nd in their conference during the regular season and finished 2nd in their conference tournament. They are going to play the number 14 seed, the Georgia State Panthers, who came in 1st in their conference tournament, finishing at 20 and 14. Next up is the number 7 seed. The Arizona State Sun Devils have established themselves as one of the best teams from the Pac-10. They'll be going up against the number 10 seed, the Northwestern Wildcats, with 22 wins. This is their 3rd appearance in the NCAA tournament in team history. Georgia Tech comes in as the number 2 seed, finishing at 24-8. UNC Greensboro comes in to face them at number 15 with 20 wins in the tournament championship of the Southern Conference. I think this could wind up being the bracket that brings us this year's Cinderella story. A few of the higher seeds here have had terrific seasons, and I'll be surprised if at least one of them doesn't put together a long run in this tournament. And finally, let's have a look at the West Regional. The Marquette Golden Eagles are the top seed, finishing at 25-7. They were conference tournament champions in the Big East. They'll take on the Quinnipiac Bobcats, the number 16 ranked team. This will be their second appearance ever in the NCAA tournament. Next up is the number 8 seed. The Louisville Cardinals have established themselves as one of the best teams from the Big East. They'll be going up against the number 9 seed, the Bradley Braves, with 24 wins. This marks their 13th appearance in the NCAA tournament in school history. Texas A&M comes in as the number 5 seed, finishing at 27-8. And they will take on the 12th seed from the Patriot League, the American Eagles, with 25 wins. Pittsburgh comes in as the number 4 seed, finishing at 23-8. Hartford comes in to face them at number 13 with 19 wins in the tournament and regular season championships of the America East Conference. Our number 6 seed is from the A-10 Conference. The St. Bonaventure Bonnie are on a hot streak, having just won their conference tournament championship. They are going to play the number 11 seed, the Wisconsin Badgers, who came in first in their conference tournament, finishing at 20-14. The UNLV Runnin' Rebels are in as the number 3 seed. They'll be taking on the number 14 seed, the New Mexico Lobos, with 17 wins. And now the number 7 seed, the North Carolina Tar Heels, come into the tournament 5th in their conference during the regular season and were quarterfinalists in their conference tournament. They are going to play the number 10 seed, the Texas Longhorns, who finished 2nd in their conference tournament, finishing at 21-9. Washington enters the field as the number 2 seed from the Pac-10. This marks their 16th appearance in the NCAA tournament in team history. They'll be getting ready to face the number 15 seed, the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Finished the season with 21 wins.
The Washington Huskies are fresh off the championship of one of the toughest conference tournaments in all of college basketball, and you can't underestimate the effect that has on the confidence of these young men. I'm sure they're thinking that anything is possible right now. I think you've definitely got to look at them as one of the most dangerous teams in the entire field.
On the surface, I'd have to say this regional might be the most difficult of the 4. Certainly the depth of quality teams here is very impressive. Whoever emerges from this bracket will have been through some battles. Clark, how do you view this year's top 16?
Washington surprised me with their seed. I thought their performance this season would put them in as a 4 seed. Vanderbilt has some flaws that are going to keep them from being a dangerous team in that number.
Now, here's the list of the team. Thanks, Clark.
You say maybe
It's gotta be more originality and strategy, or gotta be another. But these last words I decompose from nose to toes. I will dispose of all of those that chose to go to my show.